We need to talk about Candace Owens now because she has finally received a cease and desist letter from Turning Point following months of public claims that in which she accused the group of responsibility for the killing of Charlie Kirk. And I know that so many of you who follow Candace Owens are going to say, she never said that explicitly. She never said that, but I mean, it's like we understand how English works and we understand how implying works. And if you imply something and imply that in every single one of your shows, and well, let's say you're going to get a notice about that. And she was noticed when Erica Kirk flew all the way to her city, to Kansas City, and set the record straight with Turning Point's lawyers. In recent remarks, Owens urged donors to the organization to seek refunds, calling on supporters to withdraw their backing. The dispute is further complicated by the fact that Owens remains bound by a non-disclosure agreement with TPUSA that includes a non-disparagement provision. Apologize for my English, but that's another thing that we found out today, or at least I found out today. And yes, there's people that say that Erica Kirk is making herself a millionaire over this. So it would mean that Charlie Kirk was making himself a millionaire over Turning Point, because Erica Kirk is basically doing what Charlie was doing when he was alive. She's just continuing whatever Charlie Kirk was doing. So I don't know how that works, but you know that you cannot argue with some people. And Dave Rubin, I have to say thanks, Dave, for coming forward. And I was going to say coming out, but he already did a long time ago, pun intended. But he said in this post, the last time I saw Candace at my house in 2022, all she talked about for an hour was how much she hated Charlie. I remember it vividly because the other two people she was ranting against that night were Ivanka and Jared, whom we had just met and had dinner with a few days before, and who couldn't have been kinder, more decent people. Yeah, that is 100% true. And when she claimed this didn't happen or it's a Zionist lie, ask her if she enjoyed the chicken parmesan. So, it's Dave Rubin, and Candace already come forward saying that he's lying, but okay, this is actual receipts. This is actual receipts. Natalie Denise, thank you for sharing this clip. Candace tries to act macho and challenges TPUSA amid a freshly served cease and desist. Let's watch the clip, because why not? Let's watch this.
And I told you guys that you'd have better luck from keeping the sun rising into the sky than to try to keep me from investigating Charlie Kirk's assassination. In other words, Turning Point USA, you'd have better luck suing the Sun. Get your lawyer to send a cease and desist to the Sun, and you will have better luck in terms of getting it to stop than from getting me to look away to what happened to Charlie. That's how I feel, okay? And you can just take that as a fact, take it to the bank, do what you have to do, get your donors, and I'm sure you got a lot of them to fund, whatever it is. But I told my lawyer, here's what you do. Go back to them and say, how much money do you want? This contract stuff is just, it's done, guys. This whole thing of contracting people so that you can be a bad person and getting a lawyer to read times, it's done. It's over.
Okay, one thing that I've noticed, I told you that back in the day, one thing that I watched from Candace was that first episode of Becoming Brigitte. I think that was the documentary that she made about Brigitte Macron. And I said, okay, that she knows how to organize ideas. She knows how to, she knows how to persuade with words. I gave her that. That's something that is not going to change. I noticed in this clip that she doesn't have the same, ability with the words. And it's undeniable. You cannot deny that Candace Owens has a lot of ability with words. That's something that she just has it. By being able to just craft these live streams, just basically, let's say, not improvise, because she has a production team behind this, but she has a way with words she didn't have that fluency. She was like not that fluent in this clip. She should have come more, confident and, I don't care what you're doing, more nonchalant, more even counter-threatening. But she did not come out as that. I found that odd. This is still a bit more of the clip.
It's dead on arrival. Name your price, Turning Point USA. How much would you like? Would you like all of your money back? What's it worth? What's it worth to you, actually? I want to know the number because then I'm going to go online, start a GoFundMe, and raise it overnight.
Okay, so it's not like Candace doesn't stutter or never stutters. She does stutters every now and then. You know that happens when your mind is racing and you're trying to connect one thought to the other. It's something that is normal in every single person. There's no one out there speaking in front of a camera, even if they have every single thought aligned in their mind, they're going to stutter a bit. But she's stuttering more than usual, much more than usual. So it's like she is, and what she's saying about the contract, about the money that the Turning Point was is not the usual clarity that she has at the same time. So in terms of a statement, and in terms of how Candace is speaking right now, it's like, she's maybe actually afraid of this.
That's how much people care about getting to the truth. So you're going to see how much people actually care about learning what happened on September 10th. There are things that you should value above money in life.
I don't think that this is about money. I don't think that they're thinking that they're going to suck you dry of money. I think that this is about stopping, as you said that you were going to stop if Erica, all right, or your husband told you to stop, and Erica told you to stop, and you said, "Nah, I will just keep going." I'm not gonna read this one. This is too long, but this is interesting. I don't have anything personal against Candace, says Ashton Forbes, but this says that she had contractual obligation to not make disparaging comments about TPUSA due to being paid by them until very recently. And I'm gonna show the text. And I said that there's an ongoing contractual obligation to not make any disparaging, false, misleading, or otherwise defamatory comments about TPUSA. And I can imagine, maybe you'll listen to Candace Owens, or you are paying attention to Candace Owens. Let's think about that for a second. And you could say, but Candace is more concerned with the truth than to follow any she's willing to break the terms of contract just because of her friend Charlie, who was murdered. You could have a point. You could make that argument, and that could be an actual argument. Okay, if I want to find out about how my best friend was murdered, I won't care about being silenced or anything. I have my attorneys. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm worried about the guy who constructed you, right? But then we have a problem with this. And the problem is a conflict of interest, an underlying conflict of interest that we're finding out now. Why are we finding out about this now and not before? Because the first person with let's say the most interest in having this exposed is Candace herself. She must have revealed that this is a thing from since forever, since she began doing the research. Because, that would have explained a lot of things. Or at least maybe not explain a lot of things, but set the record straight about any of her ties with a Turning Point. Why didn't she say about... Why, of all that she has said, of all that she has, all this crazy stuff that she has come up with, because I have no other way of saying it, why did she skip the part that she was on this contractual obligation until very recently with a Turning Point? I mean, I think that it was an important piece of information for her relationship with everything, with her audience, with in general. And there's also this. I want to show you this a screenshot from A.L. Jacoby. Now that Tim Pool and Dave Rubin have both confirmed that Candace Owens was bad-mouthing Charlie behind his back, this tweet is worth revisiting. A year before Charlie was murdered, Candace said that she hadn't followed him in a long time and implied that they were no longer friends. Maybe did not imply that they were no longer friends, but she said, I wasn't following Charlie and I definitely did not delete any photos. We have a lot of discussions offline and we've both grown a lot since the early days of TPUSA. That is English, in case you don't know how English works. That is English. We have both grown a lot since the early days of Turning Point. What do you think that means? Okay, we have grown. Maybe into our separate journeys. That is okay. But why wasn't she following him? That I found that a bit strange. I mean, again, let's say she wanted to set the record straight from this this AF post from what's September? When was this? I sometimes forget. This was from May of 2024. Interesting. Oh. Some time ago. So as well, Erica Kirk says the aftermath of her husband's assassination revealed who in her life was real and who was fake. She explained that the tragedy exposed those who exploited her husband's fame versus those who truly care. I wonder who she's talking about. I don't know. I need some clues.
When all of this happened, you really see who your true friends are. You see who is in your corner. You see who is writing, excuse me, this microphone, who is writing my husband's coattails and who genuinely cared and who genuinely wanted to be there for us as a family. And anyways, everyone, does their best to pour into you and be there for you. And
all right. So one of the things that again, I do want to focus on the midterms, even if Candace said that the midterms were not important. They are important, and if Turning Point is the way to win those midterms in one way or another, well, I think that has to be supported in some way. But having said that, I can disagree with some people that Turning Point invites to their those massive events that they organize. That could be a thing as well. Yes, this could be complex, but a cease and desist letter is not that complex. That is not complex at all, and that is why they sat down back then, Erica and Candace, and it's like they set the record straight. And especially give Candace all the information that she needs and be open with all the information that she could request. Not because they want Candace to be in the loop, because they really couldn't care less about Candace. That's the reality. But to make sure that Candace is aware of what is going on with the public side of Turning Point. So if she lies publicly on her live stream, on her show, then they can sue her for actual defamation, because they can prove that she knew the truth about Turning Point, what was going on at Turning Point, what was going on with Erica Kirk. So if she keeps lying, then they have all the grounds, all the ingredients to sue her. I don't know. She seems happy about that. Maybe that will be a good show for her. But let me know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the bad language guy. Much love.